And we do believe that traditional media doesn't speak to young South Africans. And if we want to be speaking consistently with young South Africans, then we need to reassess the kind of journalism that we do. But again, it comes down to how it's being delivered. And so for us, the emphasis now shifts on us thinking about how exactly we are, how exactly we present a story to our audience. So, number one, we've always got to think about very tight introductions. We've got to think about headlines that are not clickbaity, but at the same time, telling the story. But also have to serve the function of drawing the reader to read more. So it is challenging, and again, there's no exact science, but it's exciting for us because we get to experiment with different forms, with also with different techniques to try to see what works, what doesn't. But I think mostly what we're seeing is that young people especially, want the news to be told in a language that is familiar to them. But I think what we've learned as well is that if you want to be speaking to young people, if you want to be the so-called voice of young people, carrying the voices of young people, we also cannot speak for young people. That we have to allow young people to speak for themselves. And we work with very young journalists as well. So for us, I think our success lies in opening the floor to them. I think that you have to give young people themselves a chance. We cannot expect a 45-year-old white man to speak about or to go and cover issues that you think that are going to be interesting to an 18-year-old Black South African. That's just not going to work. Young journalists enter newsrooms under the expectation of having to conform. And this is what kills the spirit of many young journalists in this country. So until newsrooms themselves transform to allow young journalists, especially journalists of color, the space and the time to tell stories in different ways, we're going to have the same old thing.